House cleaning is a multi-billion-dollar a year industry, yet the average house cleaning business only generates $50,000 a year. And it's because they make one, if not all three of the mistakes I'm about to explain to you in this video. So if you're a house cleaning business owner or you're potentially looking at starting a house cleaning business, stay until the end of this video so you can know what 3 mistakes to avoid that's gonna prevent you from creating a $1 million house cleaning business. Number 1 is not hiring or not taking hiring seriously enough. So when I say not hiring, lots of house cleaning business owners still do a lot of the cleaning themselves. And when they hire someone, they'll typically have a helper out in the field working with them. And I'm especially talking to the people who already have an existing house cleaning business. You as the business owner should not be doing any of the cleans yourself because you're the business owner, and frankly, it's not worth your time. I can list out 10 tasks that are way higher leverage that you could be doing on a daily basis that isn't actually going and cleaning the house. If you go and look at what an average rate for a house cleaner is in the US, you can very clearly see the average house cleaner makes only $15 an hour on average across the whole US, and the highest end of that is about $20 an hour. Is your time really worth $15 or $20 an hour? No, it's not, or you wouldn't be a business owner. And getting yourself out of the field is as simple as saying, I'm no longer gonna go out and clean houses. You can always cancel jobs or reschedule them because you need to build the systems around your hiring process in order for you to never have to clean a house again. And when it does come to hiring, most people don't hire enough. So if you're a house cleaning business owner and you're watching this and you're not in the field, but you have a struggle with attracting and retaining good cleaners, it's likely because you're either not paying them properly or you don't have a good enough hiring process. And you as the business owner should, at the bare minimum, be screening at least 5 people every single week that have a bare minimum of 1 year of house cleaning experience. I'm a really big fan of using Indeed because you can get a flood of applicants in. Now, something to note when using Indeed is 80% of these people are not gonna be that great, but you can make it a requirement to have at least a minimum of 1 year cleaning experience. You can even go as far as putting 2 years minimum in order to even apply to your job posting. This is gonna vet out a ton of people so you don't have to go through the process of putting in a bunch of effort, training them, or resetting and setting new expectations. These people with experience are gonna come ready and prepped and likely even have their own equipment. Think about hiring as building a bench. So similar to a football team, if a quarterback goes down or a basketball team, your star goes down, you have a deep bench of players that you can plug in and put up points. That's the position that you want to be in as a cleaning business owner. If you've got people who are unreliable or calling out or asking you for more pay all the time, you're gonna feel like you need them, and that's gonna create bad reviews, and you don't want that because reputation is one of the most important things in the cleaning business. And if you can have a deep bench of cleaners that you can sub in when somebody gives you a hard time or calls out, it's gonna put you in a much more comfortable position where you're not stressed out about if you have cleaners to show up, and you're not also gonna have to worry about you going out to the field because a cleaner called out last minute. Number 2 is paying your cleaners too much. Now, what I really want you to understand when I make this point is the concept of gross margin. Your gross margin is everything you have left over after you pay your cost of goods sold. Because we run a cleaning business, your cost of goods sold is gonna be the labor. Your labor is the product, which, on a side note, the better cleaners you hire, the better service they're gonna give, the better reviews you'll get, the more recurring cleans you'll get. But gross margin as a business owner, whether it's a cleaning business or any business you decide to run in the future, is very important to understand. You want this to be as high as possible because it gives you more room for margin of error to make mistakes. What I mean by this is if you do $10,000 in a month and you have a 40% gross margin, meaning you paid your cleaners 40% of that revenue, now you're left over with $6,000 of gross profit. When you have $6,000 of gross profit left, you might have $1,000 of ad spend. Take out your booking software, take out your insurance, take out your phone system, and whatever other small fixed costs you have, and you're probably gonna be left with about $4,500 of net profit. Now, the higher you can keep your gross margin, the more profit you're gonna make. So when I consult cleaning businesses, which I've helped over 1,500 by this point all across the US, the first thing I'm looking at is cleaner pay. I want as much room for margin of error and as much money left over after I pay cleaners because I wanna be able to test different things and experiment with different things and not have to stress about my bank account going negative. If you keep your gross margin high and you pay your cleaners correctly, you should see your bank account stack and stack and stack, even if you have a down month. It's just fundamental basics of business, and I don't see it talked about enough. Now, we talk a lot about the referral agency or contractor model on our page, and that's what I'm a big fan of. So when I'm bringing in cleaners and I'm hiring them, I'm starting them off at a 40 to 45% take on all the jobs. Meaning if I book a job for $100, to make numbers simple, I want to give them $40 so I can keep my gross margin at that 40%. The max I'd like to see it at is 50%. If you can get it under 40, you start getting it to 35, 30, even better. And if you're sitting here watching this and you know you're paying people too much, the way to get out of this is to reset expectation with your current cleaners and say, we want to be able to get more jobs. We want to reinvest in things like marketing. So we're going to have to lower that scale a little bit, but we'll be able to give you more jobs. On top of that, a lot of people aren't gonna like that when you cut pay for them, so you're gonna wanna start hiring new cleaners to start replacing them. It might suck because you might have relationships built with your cleaners, but we're in business to make money and we're in business to grow. And if you wanna grow, you need to be looking at that gross margin. Number 3, and last but not least, is not reactivating your old customers. Similar to what I did on my last point, I wanna explain another concept to you. This concept is called your CAC to LTV, your customer acquisition cost to LTV, lifetime value. The lower you can get your customer acquisition cost and the higher you can get your lifetime value, the better your business is going to perform over the long run. What I mean by this is your customer acquisition cost is how much you're paying for your customer. So this is gonna be your CPA, your cost per acquisition. This is your marketing cost. You want to keep this as low as possible. The way you can keep this as low as possible is by having a high closing rate if you're paying for leads. So if I'm getting 100 inbound leads a week, I'd like to be at 40 to 50%. This is going to create a really healthy lead cost. Then we have the concept of lifetime value, and this is why house cleaning is such a great business, is because buildings and houses continue to get dirty over and over and over again, and people don't like to clean their stuff. So if you pay to acquire a customer, you get that deep clean booked the first time. Your goal as a business owner shouldn't be really focused as much as closing new business, but how can I create more business from the customer I already paid to acquire? And you're gonna do this by booking more recurring jobs. This is all a factor of how good your cleaners are and how good of expectations and service you're delivering to your customers, and then what you're doing on the back end to create systems around rebooking them for weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly cleans. So you pay to acquire the customer once, and then you service them every week, every other week, or monthly, or every 3 weeks, whatever it is. I want more business from the customers that I'm already paying for. And then you're gonna measure over a year long, how long on average is this customer staying with me? And it could be longer than a year, depending on how long you've been in business. A healthy CAC to LTV that I see in house cleaning businesses is $50 to $100 to acquire the customer and $2,000 to $4,000 of lifetime value. So you can see the bigger gap you can create from the CAC to the LTV, the healthier your business is gonna be, because then you, as a business owner, can look at that and say,
every $50 I spend, I'm generating $2,000.
It gives you the confidence to spend more money on your marketing. Another important thing that's going to tie into this is measuring of the leads you acquire, how many of them are converting to recurring. A healthy rate to be converting people to recurring at is about 20 to 30%. And then on top of that, I want to measure churn, right? Of my recurring clients, how many of them are actively churning every month? As long as the conversion of new customers to recurring is higher than the ones that are churning and leaving you, you're gonna build a healthy business and you'll have no problem scaling your cleaning business to $1 million. And those are my 3 mistakes to avoid if you're looking to build a big house cleaning business. Really look in the mirror, look at the profit and loss statement in your books and ask yourself if you're running your business the way it's supposed to be run, because I promise you, you're probably not. And if you wanna work one-on-one with my team and scale your business to 50K, 60K plus a month and beyond, click the link in the bio. Or if you're looking to start a house cleaning business on your own to supplement a 9-to-5 or eventually replace your 9-to-5, also click the link in the bio. I have a free training explaining how all this stuff works and what it looks like to build a house cleaning business from scratch and not have to do any of the cleaning yourself. So if that's something you're interested in, again, link in bio. And if you haven't, hit subscribe, notification bell, leave a comment on what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.